stop all of the CC that will try and come through, and it's actually the Z in need to rely on some roaming. So I like the fact that you brought that up, because when I've buyed towards his blue buff, and he's actually heading towards the bottom side. Mlxg so aggressive early on. Lamb actually might be able to proc his passive here onto Zero in the bottom lane. Exhaust being forced out. Does still have the rend available to tear out these spears onto Zero. There's a Sonic Wave. Resonating Strike picks that one up. A Cathian surprise, trying to kill Zero there for a second, but decides that instead he wants to focus the enemy. Yeah, we're expecting coming into this matchup, but of course, Kog'Maw not as strong in the early stages. Flash forced immediately. That's a beautiful charm onto Assassin in the mid lane. Foxfire secures the kill here, as well as Insec comes through for a hand. Another Winter's Bite going to land Unbreakable, helping out the King bottom lane, who have nothing to really write home about at this stage. But if we're looking at sort of super late game team fights, does Kog'Maw still just scale better here? As Assassin actually going to go very aggressive on a core. Nice work juking around with that death mark, but it's going to proc for not too much damage. Didn't manage to answer with too much, as Mlxg has now focused towards the top as Mlxg. Oh, actually, there's the flash forward from Sky. Deathmark onto Godlike. Assassin just wants to pick himself up a casual kill. Heads back to his shadow, and it's all in a daze. Yeah. Losing a couple of dragons early. Yeah, they certainly weren't, but that was in regards to swapping them for objectives. They're not going to expect it, but the Twisted Advance has come through there as well. The knockback to come down as Mlxg has hit level 6, just kicks Godlike into the wall. Nice Sonic Wave. And they didn't even really need Assassin. Potentially coming into the bottom lane. Great setup damage coming out. And Insec going to be able to grab a two-man Absolute Zero. Yeah, there it is. Korn, the easiest charm of his life, could potentially come through. Does manage to land it in the end, as Lamb now just going to fall down. You have to think. Does manage to stand beside me to one of the minions, but only prolongs the inevitable, as Insec takes a lot of damage, but Korn gets the double. So that's it. Have the read. They've got Zero in support. They've got Insec coming up. Can they stop the dive? Yeah, Dark Binding actually does land here as well. As the turret goes over to Mlxg. That is the wrong move. Godlike again going to fall down, but King now in a lot of trouble as Assassin. He's going to fall, and you can't do it 3 times in a row, boys. They're obviously going to work out the pattern. Yeah, they certainly did, and now you have the horrible job of running away from a max snowball Nunu, which is just impossible, and we see Sky was going absolutely nowhere. Probably going to be a 4-0-0 Korn, and he's able to pick it up, and that's bad news. Rumble, fantastic with no resources. Ari, with resources, absolutely terrifying. Yeah, there's actually going to be the ultimate coming through here as the Winter's Bite casually dodged out of the way from Name. Forever. Dragon is their objective. You've got a Nunu, you've got a Rumble, and really nice bind landing. Yeah, there's the Soul Shackles as well. Assassin going to use the Death Mark, but gets stunned afterwards, and the last auto attack easily locks it down for Name. Yeah. Here available from King, but they're not just going to watch it die. Yeah, so no contest coming through. Don't want to go any. A whole lot more of that slow availability, and Assassin going to get caught by the Dark Binding. There's the Soul Shackles as well. Insec with a nice Absolute Zero. Assassin going to try and go into Name, but just gets destroyed from that. There's the equalizer, not doing a whole lot, but it solidifies the win for Starhorn Royal Club, and 3 members dead for nothing. For do a whole lot of % health damage for this stage of the game. Sky coming through here as well. He's going to flash over. There's the Vengeful Maelstrom as well. Lots of damage coming through. The exhaust actually onto the tree, of course, does just so much work. Mlxg comes through, steals the Baron. No problem at all. How do you do that against a Nunu? Yeah, so I think Insec actually might have even been there. No, he wasn't. We see him use the Consume. Might have just been on cooldown, and fantastic heads-up play from back in their favor. And now with this Lee Sin stealing Godlike being aggressed on. Yep, once more the aggression now onto Godlike. Just going to explode from that Death Mark, and Lamb can't defend those turret shots too much, but he is going to... In the top lane, Sky going extremely low, being taken down by Name, and now the push coming through from Royal Club. Walk into that Living Artillery. Lamb trying his very best to try and defend out this turret. Wushin gets caught by a charm there, actually. Absolute Zero to come through. Wushin not going to take too much damage from that, and Insec probably going for more of a, I don't know, deterrence players. Sky's actually going to find his way in and out the backside here as well. There's the kick coming through onto Korn. 3 members knocked up. Nice Glacial Fissure to come down as well as Korn. He's going to get ultimated, and he's going to die immediately. Sky going to take that one down. The knockups coming through left, right, and center. Whoosh is tearing through members in this fight. It is going to be Godlike falling down. Zero. Is he going to die? Mlxg, the hero. Does he have it? Does he have the Sonic Wave? Not this time. Yeah, certainly still going, though, and See if he can get it. No, Zero able to land the Dark Binding, but that's going to mean the Baron straight away. No, it's not. Dragon does go down. The 4th of the game here for Royal Club. None in answer from King. They're getting shut out. And now they started up. This is very dangerous out of King. Royal Club know exactly what's going on. They need to run straight away. Yeah, but, I mean, they do have the Ren stacks on that one. But, of course, oh, my goodness, that equalizer was absolutely insane. Nice locket of the Iron Solari from Liam to help them get out as Insec. He's going to get slowed down. Glacial Fissure, there's the face call. Flash. Insec's going for the flank. This fight is not over. He's looking for something. Sky's around the back here as well, though, trying to be that big tree to get annoying. And King, they still not out of the woods yet as Korn does manage to miss that Orbit Deception, but Wushin going down incredibly low, trying to dance around this fight. Insec still rocketing through there, but he finally does die. And Royal Club able to turn this one around. 4 members dead. And what was that Baron call? That was an absolute mismatch of horrible plays coming out of King. Get a flank with Sky, who just got obliterated when he tried to come in. So that was a really poor play coming through from King, and it's cost them a Baron. And Gary wasn't able to dance around that fight at all as Korn. There's the Empowered Recall. Doesn't manage to survive from that one. There's the Death Mark to come down here at the same time. Going to have to use that on his if he wants to avoid that damage, but doesn't actually have to because, of course, he might actually be able to go for the 1v1 here. Of course, able to close so much distance. Sky getting caught by a Dark Binding as Mlxg. He comes around. Twisted Advance locks down the Foxy Lady, and she is going to eventually die. The blue buff is going to be the trade, though, here for Royal Club. But they use so much for it. They use the lead from Royal Club. Yeah, King, are they going to be able to defend this inner turret? Name is just doing so much damage. That is ridiculous. The zoning absolute zero to come through from Insec. There's the equalizer as well. Clears out the wave. Doesn't do too much else, but Sky is just so dead. Insec taking a lot of damage here as well as Liam taken down very, very low. Wushin trying to dance around this fight. Name just flashes forward. Insta kills him. That last auto attack almost was enough. Flame Spitter. Godlike's got something to prove because this King lineup has not been kind to him. The exhaust comes through. Triple kill for Name. You have to think that this might be the game. And that was a 4v5. Yeah, with Korn dead. Korn is 7-2-7, and his team's still able to run away with the win. It's 20 out of 24 as far as that kill participation is concerned. That is a gigantic performance. The Nexus now down at half health, and it looks like Star and Royal Club are going to be able to take this game. Although Lamb was trying his very best to do as much damage as he could. And Royal Club, they tie it up, and it's going to be a 1-1. Yeah, so we said either team would probably want to go 2-0 on this one. The playoff race stays exactly where it was, 8th versus 9th, not going to move. And Royal Club probably disappointed in the output, although Game 2 looked much cleaner.